The Jessica Law is named for a 2005 Florida law that stemmed from the outrage at the rape and murder of a young girl. The case sparked laws in other states that dramatically stiffened penalties for some sex offenders who targeted children. Like I always say, they don't give a fuck until they have to give a fuck. It took this little girl to get raped and murdered for them to make the law. But it gets worse. How do you not know to never leave a man that you don't know around your children alone, a 4-year-old little girl? The mother and grandmother, who would regret that decision for the rest of their life, would call the police, and days later, Bolin confessed his behavior to police, and recordings of those interviews were played in court during his trial. Bolin, the Chomo coward, did not take the stand in his own defense. The brave victim, who had turned 5 by the time of the trial, testified against the coward. It's always difficult to go to trial with a 5-year-old, but she was a very good witness, the prosecutor Walker said. I don't know why they say that. It should never be difficult. A child has no idea that this is even wrong. Deep in their soul and their subconsciousness, they know something isn't right. And that's why these fucking creeps get away with it. Because they look at the children as, we rather believe them when they say, I'm mixed up, maybe I'm wrong, because they get scared, but not when they tell you the truth. Finally, in February 2008, Bolin was convicted of gross sexual assault of a minor under the age of 12 in Waldo County Superior Court. In a sickening display, he would be sentenced to only 22 years in prison for raping a 4-year-old. You get more time for dope, armed robberies, stabbings, hits. I mean, you're going after a child for the worst possible motives, lack of impulse control, getting pleasure from that, and you're getting less time than people caught with drugs. The judge noted it was the first application of the harsh sentencing, minimum 20 years without plea agreement. Harsh sentencing agreement. What were they giving them before? It's a 4-year-old little girl. Yet, Bolin served approximately 6 years before being transferred to the Maine State Prison, where his destiny would come into contact with the Reaper. Pete Stahelski, the man who stabbed the baby raper over 87 times in a cell as the man begged for his life with a sock in his mouth. When the judge said,